Hi, my name is Ava and today I'm going to be sharing 10 life lessons. Now I'm hoping no matter your age, at least one thing resonates with you. Now I'm going to keep this intro very short and let's get started. Life lesson number 1, you are the only person who can validate yourself. This is more of a confidence kind of thing. You might get people saying, oh my god, you look so pretty, or oh, I really like your hair, or your outfit looks really nice. And you might take that compliment, but if you don't believe that yourself, you won't feel good about yourself. What I've realized is that if you want to feel confident, you can't rely on other people to keep telling you that. You just have to know it in yourself. And sometimes this can be hard to achieve for some people. And I found that no matter how much someone will say that to me, if you don't believe it yourself, you won't truly believe it, if that makes sense. And you won't truly feel confident in yourself until you really internalize and believe it yourself. I have said yourself so many times, sorry about that. When I compliment people, sometimes their response is, oh, but like you look better, oh, like I didn't put that much effort in, and oh, like it was very last minute, you know? And they kind of bring themselves down, and it's kind of sad for me to see because I wish I could help them feel more confident in themselves. I wish they could take the compliment and really believe themselves that they look nice. Yeah, so I believe that if you're struggling with your confidence, you really have to just believe in yourself, and that's something that people can't give you. That's something you can only give yourself. Number 2, there will always be problems in life, it's just how you deal with them. As a student in this stage of life, you might be only thinking about, assignments and friendships and handling family and balancing things out. Of course, when you're older, you might be thinking about bills and, relationships and stuff like that. But from a student perspective, there will always be assignments, there will always be stress, there will always be relationships to balance and friendships to balance. And it's not like it's ever gonna go away. And problems in life are never gonna go away. And if you look, and after you graduate school, after you finish uni, what comes next? You get a job, you might have problems with your co-workers, you might have problems with your finances, right? So in general, life always throws things at you. You can either let them affect you, you can either let them stress you out, you can be overwhelmed all the time. You could be constantly being like, oh no, but at the end of the day I have to do this, and this is always going to be on my mind, and oh my god, this is stressing me out, right? Instead, you can kind of consciously tell yourself not to think about it. The only example I can give at this moment in time for me is, of course, assignments, right? There's always assignments, there's always something new, there's always something to study for, right? But I don't choose to be stressed about the next assignment or the assignment coming in 6 months later. And even though the stress is always there, I just choose to not let it affect me. I choose to just take a deep breath, break it down, and just start. I know I might make it sound easy, but yeah. And I think once you master pushing aside the bad stress, because stress to some extent can be good because it puts pressure on you, gets you to move. Once you master pushing aside the bad stress, I think life gets a lot more enjoyable and you can really focus on the things that make you happy instead of just being stressed all the time. Number 3, you cannot tie your happiness to an achievement, an event, or stage in your life. You can't tell yourself, oh, I'll be happy when I graduate, or oh, I'll be happy when I get an A on my test, or oh, I'll be happy when I get a job. It just makes me really sad because I'll agree, if you really want that grade and then you get that grade, oh yeah, you'll be really happy in that moment, but how long would that really last? You can't tell yourself it's just not a nice way to think, because you'll constantly be sad in the stage before your achievement or event that you want to get to. And I know I make it sound easy, and I know everyone's situation is a little different, but happiness is a conscious choice. You can choose to just be sad that you have to go to work every day, sad that you have to go to school every day, sad that your friendships aren't working out, or I could decide today to be grateful that I have an education, grateful that I can meet new people at school, and I'm grateful that I have these opportunities. And I think that no matter your situation, you could always be grateful for something. Number 4, this is related to situations as well. So no matter what situation you are in, your problems are always valid. If you're close with the people in your life, then you will know a little bit about their family life, a little bit about their home life, and objectively, their life might be worse than yours. And I mean, they might not be as privileged as you, their financial situation might be different, or their home life might be a little bit more different. And I feel that if you know someone that's in a worse situation than you, and you feel upset about something, you might feel bad about telling them your issues, which to them might not be that much big of a deal. What I've learned is that everyone's situation is different, and someone's objectively small problem might be a big problem for someone else. And I think a good friend will understand that and listen to you no matter what situation you're in, and no matter how big or small they think your problem is. And if your friend is telling you to stop complaining about the small things and telling you to stop whinging about something, but it's genuinely upsetting you, I think you need another friend. No matter what is upsetting you, big or small, if it's upsetting you, it's upsetting you, okay? Your problems are valid. Number 5, there are always going to be people that you don't get along with. You know, that one person you don't like at school, or that one co-worker you really don't like, and you think, oh my god, they're just, oh, I can't deal with them, right? But the reality is you're gonna find those people throughout life. You are gonna meet all these different people, and you are not gonna get along with everybody. And that is totally fine. That is absolutely normal. And what I've learned is that even if they annoy you or you just don't really like them, you can't take their actions personally, and you shouldn't let it annoy you. Don't let them affect your energy. Some practical tips that may apply to your situation is putting earphones in, or just leaving the room completely and just being in a different space to them. So number 6 is that you attract what you put out. I'm talking about relationship in general, like romantic or friendships, and my belief is this all comes down to your mentality. You exude like an energy that others can pick up subconsciously. I think that if you're constantly seeking validation and you feel that you're not good enough, you will exude that energy, and you will consequently make a lot of friends that are really similar to you, really similar to that energy, to your energy at that time. Ever since I've changed like mentally, like the way I think and the way I think, I have made a lot more genuine friends that genuinely care for me. They're not just the quick classmates you make just because you're lonely and they need someone to talk to, and you just talk about what you did on the weekend. I'm talking genuine friends that really align with my values. And if you're really genuinely secure in yourself, you're genuinely self-confident, you shouldn't have to go looking for friends. And if that's what you want, if you don't want a lot of friends, or you just want a few nice friends, then you will get that, right? You will attract people that also want the same thing. I'm friends with people that are really similar to me because that's what I was putting out to people. I've noticed that people approach me less, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means I'm attracting the people that genuinely are interested in a friendship with me, and I'm not attracting people that are just bored. Number 7 is knowing the differences between acquaintances and friends. You know what? In the English language, I feel there is only friends, strangers, and acquaintances. There's nothing in between. And I feel the definition of friends is really blurred at this point. In my opinion, who I consider my friends are people that I don't feel judged around, people that I feel I can open up to, also people that I don't have to walk on eggshells around, that I can just say whatever is on my mind, and I won't have to worry about it turning into a rumor or something like that. Those are the people I call friends. I am friends with people that, you know, inspire me, that comfort me, that really motivate me, or I just enjoy their presence. In my opinion, an acquaintance is someone that you just meet. You don't know them very well, like you don't know their personal life. And in my opinion, acquaintance is the equivalent to classmate in school and university kind of settings. Now, you might have this one person in your class that you talk to just because there's no one else to talk to. And I guess when you're forced to talk together in a classroom setting, you might call yourself friends over that period of time that you're forced to talk to them. And you might, you know, small talk with them. You might, oh, what's your favorite this? And like, what you do on the weekend and things like that. Whereas in my opinion, I would still see them as an acquaintance or a classmate, because most of the time I don't feel comfortable talking to them about my personal life and, you know, deep stuff. In general, for friendships or acquaintances, you can always learn something from that person, and you can always take something good from them. And if you don't like something specific about that personality, you can just take the positives and just try and ignore the rest. Like, for example, if you have this person that you don't mind, that they're like genuinely nice to you and they like to talk to you, but they gossip a lot and you don't really like gossiping, you know, you could just not participate in it, and you could just be like, like not agree with them, but just like, you know, look at them and just pretend to be listening. Or you could try to change the topic. Yeah, so that's what I mean. You can take what you like about them, and if you don't like about it, you just slowly move the conversation. It doesn't mean you have to be the one starting to talk about them. It doesn't mean you have to be like, oh my god, that person is so blah 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 blah. You can always learn something from somebody, and it doesn't mean you have to like completely cut ties with them because you don't like that specific thing about them. Number 8, literally no one cares. Literally no one cares about you in general. They'll probably forget about you in like 2 seconds, especially in public. So if you look slightly weird, if your hair's a bit, you know, a bit messed up, your makeup's a bit smudged or cakey, who cares, right? Like genuinely, like who are they to judge? It's not like that. They might look at you for like 2 seconds, but then they'll like walk off, and then they probably will forget about you. And if they are judging, why the hell are they judging? Makeup's hard, okay? If you are like, you know, like the way you look, then why do they care? Even at school, in situations where you're kind of forced to see the same people every single day and you know them a bit more personally, still, who cares? They might look at you a bit weird, but oh my god. But they should, you know what? They should be mature enough to, why would they resort to talking about a random person they saw for 2 seconds about their weird hairstyle as a source of entertainment? Like, do they not have anything else in their life to be talking about? Is their life that boring that they resort to someone random they saw like walking past? It does not freaking matter, and if you even hear them, just don't take it personally. It's fine, just pretend you didn't hear them. Also, number 9, if you're like an adult or like an 18 and you haven't dated, who cares? I genuinely, it doesn't matter. Look, I know, like, you know, the high school romance experience can sound really nice, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, when you watch movies and stuff, it's always like high school things and they like each other in high school and it's so romantic. It's almost pressuring to feel like you have to have that experience, but really you don't. And if it didn't happen to you, it just wasn't meant for you. And honestly, you might have saved yourself going through a bad experience with someone from high school. Because let's be real, how many under 18-year-olds are genuinely committed to you? Not many. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you are saving yourself from dusty, musty people, okay? And the last life lesson is that give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I did this and it just makes your life a little bit, it's a little bit delulu, but in my opinion, you can be delulu if it doesn't hurt anybody else, if it's making you happy and it's just not affecting anyone. Like, what's the harm in it then? Okay, my go-to delulus is if someone's looking at me, I just give them the benefit of the doubt and I'm just like, oh, maybe they just like my outfit, or maybe they really like my hair. Maybe they weren't even looking at me. Maybe they were just like staring off into space and they accidentally look at me, right? Or if like someone like, you know, looks at you a bit angry, it's like maybe they're having an angry thought and they accidentally looked at you, you know? And that's a little bit delulu. It's all in my head. It's not hurting anybody and it's making me feel better. So why wouldn't I do it? What else can you give people the benefit of the doubt? Oh, like if someone gets, you know, mad at you, if someone's like having a bit of an outburst, or if someone's over there crying, it's like, okay, maybe they had a really bad day. Maybe they're not usually like this and something happened, you know, and it's just a little bit of a mindset shift, with Delulu, however you see it, that just makes your life a little bit happier, you know? And it really doesn't hurt anybody. Like, who is it hurting? Okay, those are my 10 life lessons. I really hope they were helpful, and I really hope that it helps you just feel a little bit better about yourself. I just hope that at least one thing resonated with you, or at least one thing that you considered or you never considered before that you want to bring into your life. Hello? It's okay. And I really hope you have a nice day. Okay. This is so awkward, bro.